Welcome to Revenge Chronicles. Hello, my dear viewers, both new and returning souls who understand that sometimes justice comes wrapped in truth. Today's story will take you deep into the heart of a family where love was weaponized and silence became deadly. What happens when a mother's love becomes so twisted that it destroys the very people it claims to protect? Stay with us as we uncover a betrayal so profound that it shattered not just a marriage, but the very foundation of what family should mean. I should have known something was wrong when David started working late every single night. But I trusted him. After 8 years of marriage, I thought we had something unbreakable. I was so focused on fighting my own battle that I missed the war being waged right in our living room. The doctor's words still echo in my mind: stage 3 breast cancer. We need to start treatment immediately. That was 6 months ago. 6 months of chemotherapy, radiation, and watching my hair fall out in clumps while I tried to stay strong for our 2 young kids. David seemed distant, distracted, but I attributed it to stress. His mother, Patricia, had been surprisingly absent during my treatment, which honestly felt like a blessing. She'd never liked me, made that clear from day one. The discovery came on a Tuesday morning. I was looking for David's insurance papers for my next round of treatment when I found the folder. Hidden behind his old college textbooks, like he never expected me to look there. Inside were texts between him and someone named Elena, dating back 7 months. 7 months. Right when I got my diagnosis. Your mother was right, you deserve better than this. I know, baby, but the timing is terrible with her being sick. Patricia said she'll help us figure out the custody arrangement. Just give me a few more months to handle this properly. Patricia. His mother had been involved from the beginning. My hands shook as I scrolled through months of messages. Elena wasn't just some random affair. She was his co-worker, the one Patricia had been pushing him to get to know better at company events. The one Patricia insisted was such a lovely girl, much more suitable for David. But the worst part was yet to come. I found the apartment lease. Not in David's name but in Patricia's. She had rented them a love nest. Furnished it. Even helped Elena pick out furniture, according to the messages. While I was getting poison pumped into my veins, Patricia was playing house with my replacement. The text thread between David and his mother made me physically sick. She's getting weaker, David. This is the perfect time to make your exit. Mom, I can't just leave her while she's fighting cancer. You have to think about your future. Elena won't wait forever. I've invested too much in setting you two up. What if Sarah finds out you've been planning this? She won't. She's too sick to think straight. Too sick to think straight. That's what they thought of me. The final blow came when I found Patricia's journal, left carelessly in her purse during one of her rare visits. She'd been documenting my decline for months, noting when I looked particularly weak, when I threw up, when I couldn't keep up with household tasks. Like she was building a case for why David deserved to be happy elsewhere. Sarah looked terrible today. Gray skin, no energy. David needs a woman who can take care of him properly. Elena made that wonderful casserole last week, and David ate 3 helpings. I told him he deserves to feel joy again. She'd been poisoning my marriage while I was literally poisoning my cancer. I sat in my car outside Elena's apartment that Thursday, the apartment my mother-in-law was paying for. Watched David walk in with flowers. The same flowers he used to bring me, back when he thought I was worth loving. That night, I made a decision. Friday evening, I called a family meeting. I have something important to share, I told David. I'd like your mother here too. And Elena. David went white. Sarah, I can explain. Oh, I'm sure you can. But I'd prefer to do this all at once. Patricia's been so involved in our marriage, I think she deserves to be here for this conversation. Patricia arrived first, all fake concern, and how are you feeling, dear? Elena came 20 minutes later, looking like she'd rather be anywhere else. David kept running his hands through his hair, a nervous habit I'd found endearing for 8 years. I found the apartment lease, Patricia, I started, my voice steady. The one you've been paying for. 7 months now. Patricia's face didn't change. No shame, no surprise. David deserves happiness, Sarah. You've been so focused on your illness. My cancer, you mean? The cancer I've been fighting while you've been playing matchmaker with my husband. Elena shifted uncomfortably. Maybe I should go. No, please stay. You're part of this family now, apparently. Patricia made sure of that. I pulled out the printed text messages. All of them. Months' worth of planning, scheming, and actively working to destroy my marriage while I fought for my life. Did you know, Elena, that Patricia told David I was too sick to think straight? While I was getting chemotherapy. Elena's face crumpled. She clearly hadn't known the full scope of Patricia's manipulation. David, I continued, my voice getting stronger. Did you think I was too weak to fight for myself? Too broken to deserve honesty? Sarah, please. I found your mother's journal too. She's been documenting my decline like I'm a dying animal she can't wait to put out of misery. Patricia finally spoke up, her mask slipping completely. You are declining, Sarah. David needs a partner who can be there for him, not someone who's sick all the time. I was protecting my son. By paying for his affair? By encouraging him to abandon his wife during cancer treatment. By helping him find real love. Something you clearly can't provide anymore. The cruelty in her voice was breathtaking. This woman had watched me lose my hair, lose my strength, lose pieces of myself to save my life, and saw it as an opportunity. Elena, I said, turning to the woman who'd been sleeping in my husband's arms while I threw up from chemo. Did you know I have 2 children? 6 and 4 years old? Did Patricia mention them when she was setting up your love nest? Elena burst into tears. I didn't know you were sick. David said you were separated. Patricia said the divorce was almost final. David had been lying to everyone. There's no divorce, Elena. There's just a sick wife who trusted her husband and a mother-in-law who saw cancer as a convenient excuse to play God with people's lives. I stood up, feeling stronger than I had in months. Patricia, I want you to understand something very clearly. I'm not dying. My last scan was clear. I'm going to survive this cancer, and I'm going to be here for my children. But you will not. What do you mean? I mean I've documented everything. Every text, every payment for that apartment, every entry in your journal. I've sent copies to your church friends, your book club, your neighbors. I've sent them to David's work, to Elena's family, to anyone who's ever thought you were a decent person. Patricia's face went white. You wanted me out of the picture because you thought I was weak. But weak people don't survive cancer, Patricia. Weak people don't fight for their families. Weak people don't rebuild their lives from scratch. I looked at David, my husband of 8 years, father of my children. I'm filing for divorce on Monday. I'm seeking full custody, and Patricia's own words will help me get it. No judge will give custody to a man whose mother actively encourages him to abandon sick family members. Sarah, wait. Elena, you can have him. But you should know what kind of man abandons his wife during cancer treatment. And Patricia, you should know what kind of grandmother loses access to her grandchildren because she valued matchmaking over basic human decency. Patricia tried to speak, but I wasn't done. I called your pastor, Patricia. Shared your journal entries about hoping I'd get sicker so David could move on faster. He was very interested to hear how his most vocal church member really treats family in crisis. She was shaking now. I also called Elena's parents. Lovely people. They had no idea their daughter was involved with a married man whose wife was fighting cancer. They were disappointed. Elena was sobbing openly now. The beautiful thing about truth, Patricia, is that it travels fast. By Sunday morning, your entire social circle will know exactly who you are. Not the grieving mother supporting her son through his wife's difficult illness, but the woman who rented an apartment for her son's affair while his wife had chemo. I picked up my purse and headed for the door. Sarah, please, David called after me. We can work this out. I turned back one last time. You made your choice 7 months ago when I needed you most. You chose your mother's poison over your wife's pain. You chose Elena's convenience over your children's stability. There's nothing left to work out. 3 months later, David moved in with Elena permanently. The apartment Patricia had so carefully furnished became their official home. But it came at a cost none of them had expected. Patricia lost everything that mattered to her. Her church asked her to step down from all leadership positions. Her book club quietly stopped including her. Her neighbors crossed the street to avoid conversations. The woman who'd spent 68 years building a reputation as a devoted mother and grandmother became known as the woman who betrayed her dying daughter-in-law. Elena's family cut contact completely. Her parents, married 43 years, couldn't understand how their daughter had participated in such cruelty. Elena tried to reach out multiple times, but they refused all contact. David discovered that the Elena who'd seemed so perfect in a secret apartment was different when living together openly. Without the thrill of forbidden love and Patricia's constant validation, their relationship crumbled within 6 months. Elena left him for someone else, someone whose mother hadn't orchestrated their entire relationship. As for me, I finished my treatment cancer-free. I moved across town with my children, closer to my sister who'd supported me through everything. I started a support group for women navigating divorce during serious illness. I learned that I was stronger than I ever imagined possible. My kids adjusted well. They see their father every other weekend, supervised visits until the court determines he can prioritize their well-being over his mother's manipulations. They don't see Patricia at all. The judge agreed that someone who actively encouraged breaking up a family during a health crisis wasn't suitable for unsupervised grandparent visits. Patricia sends cards on birthdays and holidays. I return them unopened. She made her choice when she decided my cancer was an opportunity rather than a crisis. Some betrayals are too fundamental to forgive. Sometimes I wonder if she understands what she lost. Not just access to her grandchildren, but any claim to being a good person. She traded basic human decency for the temporary satisfaction of controlling her son's life. She got exactly what she wanted, David free from his sick wife. She just didn't expect to lose everything else in the process. The truth about Patricia spread through her community like wildfire. People who'd known her for decades suddenly saw her differently. Church friends who'd admired her devotion realized they'd been fooled. Neighbors who'd trusted her judgment questioned everything they thought they knew about her character. David tried to rebuild his relationship with Patricia, but even he struggled with what she'd done. Learning that your mother actively hoped for your wife's condition to worsen changes how you see someone. Their relationship remained strained, probably permanently. Elena learned the hard way that relationships built on lies rarely survive the truth. She attempted to reconcile with her family multiple times, but some actions have consequences that last longer than the temporary pleasure they provide. As for me, I learned something valuable. Cancer might have tried to kill my body, but Patricia's betrayal nearly killed my spirit. Fighting both at the same time taught me exactly how strong I am. I survived cancer and a mother-in-law who saw my suffering as an opportunity. If I can survive that, I can survive anything. Thank you for watching this entire story unfold with me today. If you found strength in this journey of survival and justice, please subscribe to Revenge Chronicles. We share stories of people who refused to let others write their endings, who fought back against betrayal and found their own power. Until next time, remember, sometimes the greatest revenge is simply refusing to let cruel people destroy your life. Keep fighting for your truth and watch more of our stories for inspiration when you need it most.